welcome back to another episode. My name is Tasha. I'm the founder of LORNA Media, and this is the LORNA Experience podcast for entrepreneurs and digital marketers who can relate. Now, if you have been tuning in, you would have seen a familiar face, and don't worry, you'll hear a voice now when you're listening rather than watching. But we have the wonderful Emily's back. Woo! Thank you so much, Emily, for being back. So Emily is the founder of Twofold, a website designer, and she has more to share, of course. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's listening on the podcast. I have been watching the analytics, and I'm just really excited to welcome everybody that's tuning in from the UK and also from the USA, which is really, really awesome. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the growth of this podcast. And I hope you found value in the episode so far. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about Emily's experience being in a digital marketing agency. And because this is going to be launching just before Christmas, the 24th of December, I thought it would be really great for Emily and I to talk about our marketing strategy for 2024, just to touch base. So yeah, do you want to just give a little introduction about your business and any links that people might be able to find you on?
Like Tash mentioned, I am the founder of Twofold Studios, which is a Squarespace website design company. So I am a website designer helping small businesses who are service-based. So whether you're a tradesperson, a plumber, decorator, or an accountant, or even a dog walker, whatever it might be, I design websites specifically for service-based businesses.
Fantastic. And how can everybody find you?
They can find me on Instagram if you at emily.j.lewis, or you can follow me on LinkedIn or visit my website.
Perfect. And your website is?
www.twofold-studios.com.
Fantastic. Okay, so before we get into the episode, you know what I like to do. We like to celebrate our success. What are you celebrating this week for yourself and your business?
To be fair, the week before I was ill, had a cold, and so this week's success is just getting basically back onto the bandwagon, looking at my calendar, ticking off those tasks that I had to reschedule for this week because last week was a no-go. Basically, it was duvet days.
Exactly, Emily was sick the week before. I was sick the week after, so we actually are recording this a week later because I was ill. And I'm also celebrating just feeling like I can actually get my to-do list finally ticked off. So, and how have you stayed relevant in your business since I last saw you?
That's a really good question. You know what? Time has just flown since our last call. Since our last recording. I have posted an Instagram reel, which I'm very proud of, shared it onto LinkedIn. So it's just getting back into that flow of posting and marketing the business. I have sort of like cancelled and trimmed down my networking events for this month. It's the run up to it's Christmas, it's December, it's going to be busy as is. So I was like, I'm going to refocus the strategy on that. Also, before I get into how I've stayed relevant, Emily's birthday is tomorrow, so this is this very special event. So if anybody's listening and can shout out, comment in this comment section below, happy birthday to Emily. Woo! I'm leaving my 20s behind and I'm going into my 30s now. 30s is the best. Honestly, I feel alive in my 30s. You learn all your lessons in your 20s, basically. Yeah. You can mess up in your 20s. In your 30s, you're like, right, it's time to get it together. Yeah, shit's got real. Exactly. So me, I have been trying not to lose my mind. Honestly, I think the burnout has been real. So for me, being able to just plan for the next month, that's how I've stayed relevant in my business. Burnout is real, and especially when you get sick, I think you tend to have a pity party at some point for yourself. So it's good to be back. Energy is here. Okay, so let's get into this. How did you get into being part of your digital marketing agency? So let's
let's start by that start.
Yeah, so if you listen to the last podcast, then I talked about my freelance career, and at the end of that I went into being employed, worked at Volkswagen as a receptionist, and Topshop as a sales associate, and then I came across a advert on, I think it was something like Indeed or Read, what one of those ones, that job sites, that a company called Spin Dogs was advertising for a digital marketer, and I was aware of the company. What is really funny is that the company that I had previously worked with was in a similar location, so I had known Spin Dogs and the business and some of the people there from just passing them by and down in Cardiff Bay, so it was great. And so I applied for the job, had to go through, what did I have to do? I had to do an informal interview, then a formal interview with a task, and I had to do like a personality test, and it was sort of like a maths English small little test as well, just so then they could find out how you would fit into the company, how you work. Company culture is like really important, and so they wanted, I guess, people that fitted, like, would work well with the rest of the team, and wouldn't clash too much, that kind of thing. And generally everyone who I met who works for the company is amazing. They are incredibly talented. They just on top, and really, really nice people to work with.
Okay, so how long did you stay in Spin Dogs then?
Yes, I stayed there for 3 years.
And is Spin Dogs like an agency?
Yes,
right?
Spin Dogs is an agency. They're based in Cardiff Bay.
Yeah.
They are a website and marketing agency. So I was a digital marketer there. So I did like a variety of different marketing things for clients. Things like social media, Google Ads, content creation, used to do some UX website audits, a good old mixture of things, really.
Right. And so during this experience, how much experience did you walk into Spin Dogs with?
So I'd previously obviously done my freelance business for a few years.
Yes.
And I had done a degree.
Yes.
And I had some sort of like some work experience here and there as well. So I walked in with some knowledge, but not the amount that you leave with, because 3 years is a long time.
100%.
Doing work, 9 till, 5:30, 6 o'clock every single day, you learn so much, and you've got to keep on top of it. And what you learn in uni is very different to what you learn outside on the job.
Yes.
And I think every job that you go into, there's always something new to learn as well.
Yeah. So through your digital marketing experience, what was your highlights and lowlights? Like, what did you learn the most, and what were your just uncomfortable experiences?
So highlights, oh my gosh, there's so many. I got to meet so many amazing people who work there, and became really good friends with a few people, went to some of their weddings, stayed very much in contact with them even after I've left the company, or they left the company, and working with clients as well. To be fair, they helped so much with my digital marketing experience, because I was on doing so much. I learned so much in such a short space of time as well, and just continued that career marketing knowledge development, which is and that training as well. They were really supportive with training. So if there was anything that you kind of like wanted to go on or be a part of, they would try and help with that, which was really positive as well. And generally working with clients as well. I like working with clients.
Yeah.
I like seeing the progress that those things made. Got to train some people as well, so part of my job role was to provide training sessions, and so I would do that on digital marketing, specifically around social media advertising.
Yes.
And would help senior or other digital marketers from other companies. They would come in for these training sessions and I got to teach them, which was amazing as well, because I used to want to be a teacher when I was really little.
Yes.
And so when I grew up, I discovered media studies at GCSEs, my whole world turned, but I still have that love of teaching.
Yes.
And simplifying things, and I love seeing that spark that people get when they go, oh, I get this now. I love seeing that little twinkle in their eyes once they get it. It's really joyous, for me. It was nice being able to teach people as well. Some of the lows, that's difficult. It was the company grew. I think and of course we went through a pandemic as well. The culture changed within the company, and it became no longer what it used to be. And I just felt like I had just outgrown the place, and wanted to sort of go in a different direction, so that's why I decided to leave it.
You said last time, when we were talking about it, the time in order to complete the task was manageable. Like, I'm not just, I don't know how to say that.
It was very much on all the time. It being in an agency compared to being in-house is vastly different.
Do you want to talk about the differences just more specifically?
If you're a digital marketer, or you work for an agency, you are managing multiple clients, and you are juggling, between each task, and it's very, very, very fast paced. So I would, for example, do a campaign on Facebook, and I would write the copy, come up with a strategy, write a document, sometimes design the work as well, within a space of like 4 or 5 hours, and get it sent to a client, and then I'd have to move on to the next project. So it's really, really fast, whereas working in-house, it's a lot slower. You can take your time with it, because you're only working on one brand. You might be doing and juggling lots of hats, depending on the size of the business.
Yes.
Or you might be, it just seems to be a much slower environment.
I feel like I would struggle, but when you said you had training and support, didn't you?
Yeah.
In the beginning when you started? Or not really?
It was, so the training kind of is more like, we're going to chuck you in at the deep end.
Okay.
Have a crack at it. You've got experience, so have a go at it.
Yeah.
And then the training was sort of like, if there was like a webinar that you might want to join, you could like join that kind of thing. There was a couple of events that I think I went to.
So you're basically learning on the job.
Yes.
So if you messed up, that's when you learn.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, the only reason
that
I
was
asked,
my
because
experience.
My friend, she actually, the Paula that was on the episode, she was discussing this actually on one of her episodes, saying that she thought, okay, applying to an agency, she'd be able to learn from other agency staff. So like other marketers, not staff, marketers. And that's why I was asking, because to be honest with you, that's how, when I was working in hospitality for a brand and doing the digital marketing, and I was a digital marketing team, and I had to manage 3 brands within that, and in 3 days, it was just so full on. I personally felt like I was failing all the time, and like I felt like that gave me a taste of agency life, where I know I would have not liked it at all. And that's why I was curious, because you've obviously worked in a digital marketing agency for 3 years. Did you have that support? And it just sounds like you come in with the experience, and then your experience grows on the job.
Yeah, that was more of my experience. Obviously, there was some other people on there with different digital marketing skill sets. I came in with more social media knowledge than others, and then other team members had more maybe SEO experience, more Google Ads experience. So I got to learn from them some bits, and then they learned from me about social media.
Yeah.
And so it kind of just like fed each other, really. But yeah, I needed to have some, definitely I had like experience doing some ads before, doing social media, organic content, and all of that kind of thing before. From my freelancing career.
Okay, awesome. What experience from those 3 years have you taken and integrated into your business now? Like, how did that grow you from, freelancer life, this was your transition, into where you are now?
All of the skills, because as a small business owner, like on my own as well, I need to be doing, so now I do website design, which is kind of, different from digital marketing, but I need to do digital marketing things to support and run the business. Otherwise, if I didn't know this stuff, I'd have to hire it out or just not do it altogether. But you need, to run a business and to get it out there and to let people know, you need to market and advertise your business. And so, there's things that I have learned from the job that I now bring over, things like SEO, things like conversion rate optimization, things like...
can you specify?
Yeah, so...
what is conversion rate optimization? Yeah. I'm just thinking of our listeners, and especially aspiring digital marketers or entrepreneurs, because I agree, like, that's why this podcast is for entrepreneurs and digital marketers, because business and marketing go hand in hand.
Yeah, conversion rate optimization, sometimes CRO is the acronym, is things that elements that you might design on your website, or things that you might do to increase the likelihood of a conversion. So it might be like button placement, or it can lead into UX design sometimes as well. So it's pretty broad, but yeah, essentially it is like encouraging people to do what you want them to do on your website.
Yes, and a conversion can either be conversions is a different alternative definition for, like, if you want someone to a click can be a conversion, a signing up to an email list can be a conversion, a sale, getting into that checkout screen can be a conversion. What type of engagements are converted basically into whatever parameters you set. Yeah. Just to specify, of course.
Yeah, and I mentioned about SEO as well. That's search engine optimization, which means, like, Google is a search engine. There's, I think, Yahoo as well. I never use those ones, so
no, Bing.
It's just Google.
Yeah, for me. TikTok is a search engine. Yeah, Instagram is a search engine.
So yeah, it's how do you get your website shown on Google for the keywords that you want to. So when someone types it in, type something in, I don't know, like plumber in Newport, yes. Does your website show up for that? If you are a plumber who services Newport, you want to be showing up for that. So the thing is about digital marketing, it's forever adapting, changing, updating. There's different trends, there's different algorithms that happen, and you've got to be on the ball with it all the time.
Exactly. You're so right.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I'm definitely going to touch base on that for sure in a future episode. So what would your advice be for aspiring digital marketers who's looking to go into an agency? What would your advice to them be?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where give it a go. If you want to try it out for sure, give it a go. See how you feel in that environment. If it, you might find that it's for you and you want to stay there, great. If you don't, then that's also fine. You can also be a freelancer doing that kind of work. You could also be a consultant. You could also be working in-house. There's other ways that you can still do that work, but in just different environments.
Exactly.
And different agencies work in different ways as well. So smaller agencies will work vastly different to really large corporations which have like hundreds and hundreds of employees. So that's also something to consider. I find that the people that I have spoken to that have worked in agencies have said that it's something that they do for a few years and then it's time to move on. It's not sustainable because it's so fast paced.
Yes. And I think what I would like to also just touch on for a hot second is digital marketing. Like, everybody wants to be a digital marketer, right? Everybody. But in reality it really is, because I literally went through something recently, and I had a discussion with a friend, and I said to her, I'm like, marketing takes energy. Like, to sustain in the business, it's so competitive. Being new in an agency is great for experience, it's good for skill development, it's good for understanding pressure, time, and budget. I think budget would be a great thing that I would love to work more of. But to be honest with you, being now with I'm freelancing, I'm kind of learning my way anyway, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, you know, it's really cool to you upskill anyway. So there's a lot more self-discipline when it comes to freelancing, but you need to stay relevant. You need to understand that overnight success is cool. It can go, you know, you can have overnight success, but what you want is consistent long-term success. You do need to test for conversions and optimization, and guess what, those testing never stops because of the algorithm and technology change. That's amazing. We're going to do any last thoughts on digital marketing agency? No. Okay, cool. We're going to go into the fun stuff of our marketing strategy for 2024. So, Emily, do you want to kick it off? Where are you now? Where do you want to go in 2024 with your marketing?
Creating industry specific web pages on my website. So we're dividing it up by industry, so you know, website design for tradespeople, website design for accountants, you know, all of those kind of pages I want to have created, so then the content is more specific, it's more relevant to them, and also getting found then again on Google. You know, if a plumber, you know, I always use a plumber as a reference.
We love plumbers.
We love a plumber. If a plumber comes in and is like, you know, I need a website designer for plumbers, then hopefully my website's going to show up. It'll have content that's way more relevant to them, and so they'll be able to feel like very much included in that conversation. The other thing is more consistency with my blog writing and my social media as well. So this year I'm terrible. So basically, even I used to do social media for clients, and it's a case of do as I say, not as I do, because basically I need to take my own advice, and this is the thing.
Me too.
It's like I know what to do, but it's scheduling the time to do it, being disciplined, and you've got 101 other things that you need to do. I need to work on that consistency element of my social media.
100%.
Getting more content out there. And focusing on, so I want to focus mainly on Instagram and LinkedIn, maybe TikTok in the future, we'll see. But I want to, that's where my clients that I have had this year have come from, so it makes sense for me to use those platforms more. And so on Instagram, I want to be posting more like real, like short video content.
What's your strategy with Reels?
So with that,
give some examples.
Yeah, so it's a mixture of doing some sort of trendy videos with trending audio, just sort of like trending kind of styles that they have out, mixed with video reels that are educational as well. So then you're tapping into something that could go viral. Yes. But you're also...
I hear what you're saying. Sorry.
And then also you're backing that up with educational content then as well, so it's not just, you know, that kind of dancing kind of videos that you might expect. A mixture of both. That's the strategy there. I've also decided at the moment to pause I had a separate Instagram account for my twofold one, but I think I'm just going to run it under mine at the moment. I think what was happening was, in my mind, I've been spreading myself too thin. Yeah. And so I'm just going to condense it into the one, focus on two platforms and see how it goes. And using that, repurposing content as well for my blog into social media content as well. So taking little bits from my blog and turning them into, I don't know, like 6 little videos that can be posted on social media. Exactly.
I am the same. My marketing strategy for 2024 is definitely finish my website this December, and get my domain authority like banging.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking, because the thing is, I've done this before in 2020, 2021. I did so much work and then I lost my website because I'm an idiot. I was ranking on the first page of Google, you know. I was like, I was living my best Google life ranking. And that's the thing, it's like you really want your content to be searchable. So for me, 2024, I want to rank for searchable content, and that is with YouTube and with blogging. So it's driving traffic on my website. I'm very much focused on multi-level revenue streams. So for me, it's not just about getting one-to-one clients. I would like to focus on affiliate marketing. I would like digital product sales, and I would like the creator economy, which is loads of AdSense. So my website, I want to have some ads on it, not all of it, but just maybe the blog section. And because my vision for my business is I want to be able to work from anywhere around the world. I hear you with the blogging though. I don't know what it is, but it's just like, I think because I've done it for such a long time, I almost sometimes run out of steam for myself, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to like get myself into like a positive mental attitude with having like focused days. So for me, productivity and focused day. So when we're doing the podcast, it's podcast recording day, then it's an edit day. Like obviously in an ideal world, we'll be having people help us, but we are solopreneurs, yeah. So it's having that right time to go, okay, cool, let's just bust out 4 blog posts, which can be scheduled once a week for the month, and then it's done. So that's for me, is like productivity, consistency, like you said, searchable content, and for me developing my loads of market research for the Lorna Club. So again, like you're saying, targeted, specific industry, service-led places. It's exactly that I want to get focused. This is the question for you, is your integration with AI? Are you going to have any integration with AI for 2024?
Well, I've already been using ChatGPT.
Okay, how?
Bloody love it.
Okay, let's talk. How?
So it's been really helpful getting my thoughts into a clearer wording. Basically, my mind runs sometimes at a mile a minute, I feel, and I will write out something and then we'll put it onto ChatGPT and I'm just like, write this clearer for me.
Yeah.
And it comes back and it's like beautiful. It's like chef's kiss. I'm like, that's exactly what I was trying to get out of, you know, exactly what I was trying to say. So it's been really helpful there. So I've been writing some blog posts with it, or certainly outlines of blog posts as well, getting that out. So it's never the full thing, like no. Don't ever do that, but it's a good kind of thing to tweak what you've already have, or to use it as an idea generation kind of tool. That's what I've been using ChatGPT as anyway.
Yes.
And you know, things for like social media captions, or you know, little bits that you just need to tweak, a little bit of help. So yeah, blog post titles sometimes, and social media captions, really. Yeah, it's been really helpful. And it quickens up that process as well of content creation.
Exactly. And I think this is what I love. So I haven't had the time yet to integrate it as much as I would like to, but this is definitely part of my 2024 strategy, is to learn more ChatGPT prompts. Like I go on social media, like on Instagram, and I find like the one chick, I can't remember her name now, but she basically posts every night at like 11 o'clock and 2 a.m. Yes, I'm awake till that long time. And she's constantly giving ChatGPT prompts. She's gone really, really viral on Instagram. And like I've saved some of her videos to play back later, to learn more prompts. When I've saved all these videos, I really want to start integrating it, because like you said, time is so important, and I know that so many of these prompts, if I use it will really help speed the process. So as I said, when I have my productivity days, I did try video, like short making with AI Opus, which was really cool at the time, because some of it did optimize really cool shorts, but when you've only got like 2 hours worth of redemption, and then you've got to pay. And at the time, using Opus AI has made me realize that they still need work. So for me, I want to wait until AI is at a like video shorts making is at a certain standard where you can like tap into your format that you want and learn how to use that properly. And I think Adobe Premiere AI is the best, but I don't have Adobe Premiere. I'm not paying for that, definitely not. I've got Final Cut Pro and I use CapCut. So at the moment, manual labor is where I'm at for like in terms of execution, but definitely using ChatGPT for a bit more, just to level up. And I think as well as digital marketers and business owners, it's important to get familiar with AI because again, it's about, I think digital evolution has been here where it's like force everybody on social media, number one. And then now people go, oh, I don't like social media. And then it's like businesses had to go on social media because otherwise you get left behind, you miss out on the leads and the clients. And now it's like it's accelerated to that next level. And I think it's important you don't have to be an expert, but it's important to be familiar and start to integrate it so that you can skill develop, because you don't know what the future might be. What if you're in a position where you can't get hired unless you know AI? Just if you decide you're not, like, freelancing is not for you, or you just don't know where life will take you. It's important to have those skills. Any more strategies for 2024?
That's it at the moment. That's what I'm going to focus on in the first few months of the business, first quarter for sure. I don't like to plan too far in ahead because it means it becomes harder for you to adapt should something come along, whether it's something new that you want to try out, or I don't know, we enter into a pandemic again. You never know. Fingers crossed that never happens again. But it's making you, so I like to plan something out, have a rough idea for the next few months, first quarter, something like that, assess where I am at and what needs to improve or change. Is the marketing strategy that I'm working on working, or do I need to try something else?
Exactly. That is such a key. This is why I really wanted us to discuss this, is because people think that, I'm going to come up with this one strategy, and then they don't monitor the analytics. They don't monitor the performance. And look here, it's not, you won't know this until you have used social media to your benefit. So if you're, for instance, like an illustrator, but digital marketing is not your focus, you won't likely know that, okay? It's only if you do use social media and start analyzing. And this is why I have developed this podcast that includes marketing, so that we can make you aware. So I agree here. I always stick to a 3 month. 3 month is a good way to monitor results. Usually the first month kind of sets a benchmark or whatever, and then the second month you can go, okay, cool, what needs tweaking, and then the third month, okay, what needs tweaking. And because we're also living in an industry where things are accelerating and accelerating and accelerating, you will have to always change, adapt. That's the key word here. You have to consistently adapt. Love that. I love that key phrase of have a test strategy, test it out, and then by quarter go into it. Any other? I
mean, at the moment, so I have got as well email marketing that's a bit on the back burner, so I want to rejig that up as well. So I have at the moment on my website a lead magnet that, so basically people can put their email address and their name, and they'll get sent a PDF, which is a 38 point website checklist of things that you need on your website. And that's free for people, and their contact details get put into my email sequence. Software. I'm using ConvertKit at the moment. There's other things out there like MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, MailerLite, so if you've ever heard of any of those, but I prefer ConvertKit. And so I have a sequence then, so once they've signed up and they get automatically sent that email with the link to the PDF, for the next 2-3 weeks, they get sent a email automatically then after, with a little bit of tips as well, and introducing me and that kind of thing. And I feel like I need to revisit that content on there and add more to it as well. So that's another thing that I'll be looking at.
Yeah, I signed up.
Did you? Amazing.
I've yet to go through all your emails, but I did. I was like, hell yeah. I sign up to so many emails just to understand what other people are doing and how can I optimize within myself. And it also is a motivator. So when I see an email, I was like, ooh, I need to get on top of that. I also use ConvertKit. It's amazing. I hate MailChimp, I'm sorry, but I do. I hate it with a passion. ConvertKit's amazing, and especially, I'll tell you a little bit of this is not sponsored, but maybe one day. But no, they've actually got a really brand, like their workplace is amazing for people, so we love that. But also, what I love is you can start free, and then you can upgrade per monthly, and even on the free subscription, which is up to like 100 subscribers or something, you can have your own e-commerce link and sell a digital product. Yes, it takes commission of a sale, but you don't need to have integrated e-commerce, extra website, and especially when you're getting started, it's amazing. But then when you upgrade, you've got this thing called automation, and it's really cool. You get to see the little designs, and I also love the tagging aspect of it as well. And their recent partnership has been with Mighty Network, which is one of like the biggest things for me right now. It's an online community space, and that integration is just, for me, just a match made in heaven.
I am with you on the fact that you don't like MailChimp. I don't like it. It's so
complicated.
It's like they say that they've got automation and sequences, but I just, like, they don't visualize it in the same way. There's no separate forms. So if you do ever go into checking out what the hell we're talking about, essentially, because we could probably talk about this for a long time.
Totally.
But yeah, you need sort of separate forms that people will put their emails in, and then it will get tagged with something, and then whoever's signed up with that specific form will get sent something specifically relevant to that form. Whereas MailChimp just has one form.
One of another things is podcasting. So podcasting is another tool that is not for everybody. My biggest focus for marketing in 2024 is I need to enjoy what I'm doing. Okay, so the only way to be sustainable and keep consistency is if you're really connecting to the type of content you're making. So even though short form video is a massive marketing strategy, I know making the short form content in terms of Instagram Reels and not cutting the podcast into short form, like long form into short form, it's really difficult for me to get creative with it. But I am definitely starting to change slowly and starting to get into it. But something that I'm focusing on, what I can do right now that I enjoy, is long form content like this, and then chopping it into smaller short form content by myself with CapCut and repurposing it that way, because it's really important for me to enjoy what I do. I love talking. I love talking. So that's like something like, this is just, of course I'm going to use it. So for me, is to optimize my research, building a community, using that to deliver the right content for my community, but in the way that I enjoy it. So podcast is a lot of work. Like, podcast is not for everybody. Eventually I want to grow a team, but for now this is absolutely perfect. Do you have any more strategies do you want to add?
I might jump on and do some YouTube videos at some point, because I personally find myself, I YouTube and Google everything to learn. It's such a great tool. So that is something that I might later on in 2024 jump into. You never know.
I have told Emily that I think she should.
Well, this is the thing,
It's time.
People, there's only so much personality that you can get across in a blog post, but things like podcasts and videos where people can see your face, hear your voice, they get to know you,
and you can make evergreen content as well with it.
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah. So we'll see on that, but yeah, stay tuned.
So this is a Christmas special, really. So I just wanted to wrap it up.
I see what you did there. I love a good pun.
That was unintentional, to be honest. Let's wrap it up. So Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope that you're having a great festive season, and I hope that this episode really gives you food for thought for 2024, and that, you know, you had a good financial year 2023, regardless if you did or didn't. You grew in the process. My Experience Podcast is here to hold your hand through 2024. Bi-weekly podcast. Thank you so much, Emily, for being here. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic birthday tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. All Emily's links will be in this video description. All my links will be in the video description, and remember to check out the show notes. Till the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.